In this video, I want to take a look at some of the more low-key announcements that have come during E3 week. ELEX is getting a sequel with ELEX 2. I was surprised initially, but honestly, I shouldn't be that surprised. THQ Nordic allows their developers to do a lot of different things, so this should be something that could be pretty cool. We'll talk about that. Eldest Souls is a game that I think is going to be right up the alley of a lot of you guys, and the Medium has finally gotten its PlayStation 5 release confirmed. We'll talk that at the end of this video, but yes, ELEX 2 has been announced for PlayStation 5, Xbox Series, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC. Return to the post-apocalyptic science fantasy world of Magalan. Now, ELEX actually released back in 2017, and it was done by the same studio, Piranha Bytes, of course, and it was a bit of a janky open-world RPG, but it did have some cool sci-fi elements going on for it. It got a mostly positive reception on Steam, and I played it on PC, and I couldn't get through the whole thing, but it did have some cool elements. I just remember at that time, it came out in October of 2017, I believe, and there were a lot of major titles coming right around that time, so it was one that kind of got shoved into the backlog for me, and I really didn't think it would ever see a full-on sequel, but here we have it. ELEX 2 is coming, and it notes, in this sequel to the vintage open-world RPG, ELEX Jax must once again unite the free people of the science fantasy world against a new threat, the Skyanides, who want to change the face of the planet forever. Now, we did not get an official release window for the title, it's just noted to be coming soon. There is a Steam page that's already up, so they are letting you wishlist the game over there. Again, we'll see how it turns out. Piranha Bytes is a decently talented studio. They've put out some pretty interesting titles. They put out the Risen games, the Gothic titles, and while I wouldn't say those games are absolute slam dunk home runs, they definitely have some things to like out of RPGs. If they could fine-tune some of the roughness around the edges, so to speak, I think they could turn out to be a really great RPG development studio, and maybe some of their charm comes from the fact that their games aren't absolutely super polished. But from a presentation standpoint, ELEX 2 looks to be a big budget RPG, so we'll see how it turns out. I wasn't completely sold on the trailer that they put out, but that's just like a CG trailer kind of setting the tone of the game. There are a bunch of images out of the game as well that's in gameplay, and those look quite captivating, so that is something to note. So we'll see how the game turns out as we get closer to its release. Again, at the earliest, I could see this being like a late 2022 game. I wouldn't expect to see a release for this anytime in the near future, but one game that might get lost in the shuffle. Alright, moving on from that, Eldest Souls launches July 29th. We have gotten a brand new story trailer and new screenshots released. Now, if you're a fan of games with a pixel-like art style, this is gonna be right up your alley. And as I've mentioned before, all pixel graphics not created equal. This is another game that seems to be very fluid in how it presents its pixel graphics, and something that I definitely enjoy the presentation of. It notes, fast-paced and brutally challenging, Eldest Souls is a unique boss rush Souls-like experience. In a final act of vengeance, the old gods have unleashed a great desolation upon the world. Mankind's only hope lies with the lone warrior and his great sword of pure obsidian. This is actually a game that's going to come out very soon. July 29th is when it's scheduled for a release, and it is coming from CI Games, who have published some pretty cool titles. Fallen Flag Studio is the development studio behind the game. It notes, boss rush brutality. Eldest Souls focuses on only the toughest as most engaging of combat encounters, the bosses, with each old god presenting a new and unique challenge for the player to overcome, with fitting rewards for those who triumph in Ancient Kingdom, pixel perfection, your build, your rules, and a variety of different features. Battle your way through a series of uniquely challenging boss rush combat encounters. Discover a cast of intriguing NPCs and quest lines as you explore the ancient citadel and unearth the mystery of the old gods before total devastation befalls the world, and bask in the glorious pixel perfect graphic style, dripping in gorgeous attention to detail. Your build, your rules, customize your own combat style from a multitude of ability combinations. So standard fare for a lot of games like this. Seems like it's going to have a lot of variety in terms of how you want to play and what upgrade paths you want to take, so will be a lot of room for trial and error that is going to be available for you, but it is going to be a relatively difficult game. It'll be out on all major platforms come July 29th. That includes PC, PS4, PS5, Switch, Xbox One, and Xbox Series S and X, so it's coming to the whole gambit of platforms. There are a bunch of images out, there's a new story trailer that has just dropped, and there's a few other trailers that have been released as well, so you can check out all of those if you are interested. And lastly, I do want to note that the Xbox exclusive, the Xbox console exclusive, I should say, the Medium is coming to PlayStation 5 on September the 3rd. Now, I know that some people had a mixed reception towards the Medium. I played it on PC through Xbox Game Pass, and I had a really enjoyable experience. I thought visually it looked really good, and I liked the idea of dual realities. I thought that was a cool little element that they threw in the game. Critically, it was received pretty well. PC Gamer gave it a 9.2, GameSpot gave it a 9 out of 10, so it got a lot of solid reviews. IGN gave it an 8 out of 10, 88% positive reception on Steam. Maybe not a game I would jump up and pay $50 for, $60 for, but once it goes on sale, you know, sub $30, I think it can be a pretty good pickup, especially because at this point, when it comes out on PlayStation 5, it'll be an 8-month-old game, so I would probably wait until, you know, sometime early to mid-2022, and it's down to $30, maybe $25, and then it could be a really good pickup. But hey, it's just adding to the library of the PlayStation 5. I think there's nothing wrong with that, and if you're a fan of psychological horror titles, I think this is going to be one that you end up really enjoying. And it's done by Bloober Team. Bloober Team's awesome. They've done Observer and Medium, and now it seems like they have a roster of high-quality titles that they're really crafting, and hopefully they hit it out of the park with their next game as well. But that's going to wrap up this one. Again, ELEX 2, an RPG that I did not expect to see happen, is happening. Piranha Bytes is going to be doing a follow-up to ELEX, so that's pretty cool. Eldest Souls coming July 29th, and the Medium will be coming September 3rd. Pretty cool roster of games that have been revealed that I felt was going to get a little bit lost in the shuffle with everything going on, especially the Nintendo event dropping today. But that's going to wrap up this one. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comments section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.